Hey everyone, it's GailLyn here, the queen of journaling on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Today is Monday, January 26, 2026. Already. Can you believe it? Today's journaling topic under my The Importance of Journaling series is entitled Emotional and Healing when Journaling. We'll speak on some in depth points about emotional and healing when you're journaling. Pain, trauma, being more self aware, but most importantly, we'll speak on clarity via healing when you're journaling. Last week I spoke about memory and legacy journaling, which I thought was a great topic because we discussed the importance of leaving a written legacy for the next generation to come. And we learned a lot of important factors. Now, before I start my topic, I did a lot of research on this healing and emotional control, emotional resilience. Emotional might become one of my favorite words, so we'll see about that. But I always like to start off with some new tchotchke that was given to me this week. I love it. It's my Queen ink pen. And I think it's all sparkly and shiny. And also, an associate of mine went to Africa. They had the fortune. They were fortunate enough to make it to Africa because I don't think I'll ever get that far. I'm not a traveler. That you can know about me. I'm not a traveler outside of the U.S. unless it's within the U.S. because we have some beautiful cities and states here. I don't think I'll ever go out of the country. But this beautiful bracelet that says Africa was given to me, and I really, really appreciate it. Now, back to our topic emotional and healing when we're journaling. Emotional and healing journaling is not about perfect sentences or revisiting every painful detail of the past. We don't have to do every painful detail. I think a lot of us are in some type of denial anyway, and we don't want to think about it. But it is about giving emotions a safe place to land, allowing the heart to speak without any judgment, and creating space for restoration rather than re traumatization. Trauma. I don't like that word. Journaling meets you where you are, not where you think you should be. Because I think, even myself, including myself, we're always judging ourselves, we're always criticizing ourselves, even when we're not even aware of it. I think sometimes I'll look in the mirror and say, I need to do something with my nose, or, my eyebrows crooked, I don't have my makeup on right. And then I think to myself, well, you know what? It's not a perfect world. People want to appear to be perfect, but at the end of the day, we're all just humans trying to survive and make it in the world that we live in, being grateful that we're alive and here and still able to survive. What emotional and healing journaling is and what it is not. It is a private judgment free space, a release valve for emotions that feel heavy or unspoken, a tool for self awareness, clarity, and peace. And I just assume personally that clarity and peace go together. They correlate. It's also a method for processing pain without becoming trapped in it. Ooh, I can't wait to get into depth about that one. What it is not, it's not a requirement to relive traumatic experiences, as we stated earlier. It's not a replacement for professional counseling when needed. And I've talked about that in previous videos. Seeking outside support or resources. It is not a chronological replay of suffering. I don't ever want to spend a moment writing where I'm suffering or I'm in tears or I'm just going into depression over it. I mean, why bother? I would rather leave that behind and start some positive energy scrapbooking, collecting some positive things and scrapping it and putting it in my scrapbook. And it is not a place for self-criticism or shame. Healing journaling focuses on how pain affected you, not on repeatedly describing what happened. One of the biggest fears people have is, if I write about it, I'll fall apart. And that's what we don't want to happen. Trauma-informed journaling teaches us we don't have to reopen wounds in order to promote healing. So as I stated earlier, I like to keep my journaling as positive as possible by jotting down my catchy phrases or words that I never heard before and then reflecting on them later. I'm also going to be reflecting in a new journal, which I'll talk about later on, that deals with my emotions and how I'm dealing with my mother, who's currently battling the early stages of dementia. And on the positive side of that, I want to be able to write down all the good times we have together with this health issue and how she's battling. She's keeping her positive prayer. She's watching her Jimmy Swagger. All these positive things that will keep her in her current memory. And getting back to our subject, healing and journaling and emotions. Trauma-informed journaling techniques. When we write from the present and not the event. So we're writing from what's going on currently and not from what just happened that was so negative and affected us so negatively. Instead of detailing the trauma, you focus on what you feel today, what your body is communicating today, and what you need right now. Because I think with most of our daily situations, we always try to come up with a way to resolve it. And I was watching a movie yesterday called The Ugly Truth, and I was laughing the whole time, but it was so hitting home on a lot of things about facing the truth. And someone came to her with a problem, and she said, "We don't believe in problems. The word of our day is resolve. So instead of worrying about calling it a problem, let's focus on how to resolve it." I thought that was great. Use emotional labels, not graphic details, when you're emotionally or writing about your emotional healing. Naming emotions is healing. Replaying events is not required. Use phrases like, "I feel overwhelmed. I feel disconnected." And oh my goodness, sometimes you can be in a room full of people and not be connected. "I feel tired of being strong." And I've heard so many reels and short movies on social media about being that strong woman and appearing to be this strong person that can handle everything and is always smiling and appears to never have any personal issues and is inside struggling. Journaling has a way of releasing that. And here's the answer, just like I just stated. This allows release without re-traumatization. How do we go about writing when we're dealing with emotional healing in journaling? Healing journaling does not need to be long. Try 5 minutes. bullet points, one sentence, a single word. I always say the word for the day is, and I'll throw something out there. So every day, just seek one word and reflect on it. You want to be stopping before the overwhelming feeling is a success, not a failure. Containment during journaling is very important. You want to end heavy journaling sessions with a closure statement to signal safety to your nervous system. Wow. So when we're journaling and we're reflecting, we're sending signals to our nervous system. And as I spoke about in previous videos, we need to get all of that frustration out. We don't want to keep our personal problems bottled up because that could cause some serious health issues. So here, I researched and I'm pinpointing again in this series, end heavy journaling sessions with a closure statement to signal safety to your nervous system. And some examples are, I've written enough for today. I am safe in this moment. I choose rest now. Take a nap. Daydream. Close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. Reflect. This helps prevent emotional flooding. We're referring to our faith-centered journaling because we always refer to that at the close. We invite God into the healing process without pressure to have an immediate answer from Him. We just invite Him in. We go in that little quiet room, our prayer closet, when we first wake up in the morning and it's dark and quiet in our room, and we invite Him in by speaking to Him. He's listening. He wants to hear from you. He already has the answer. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Try asking God, what do you want me to know right now? What can I release into your hands today? What part of this issue can I release to you? Because I know you know that I'm going to already try to put my 2 cents in. So, what can I release into your hands today, God? And where can I find peace in this moment? Because as I stated earlier, I don't ever look at the glass as half empty. I look at it as half full. You are not journaling to fix yourselves. That doesn't help. That doesn't happen. You are journaling to trust God with what hurts. And that's why we walk by faith. Gentle healing. Use prompts that focus on safety, strength, and support, and not the trauma itself. What feels heavy today? And what feels light? What part of me needs compassion right now? What does peace look like in this moment? I love to think about peace. I love to think about quiet time. What am I allowed to let go of today? What has helped me survive more than I realized? Think about old tactics that were utilized. Think about old friends. Think about old visits or things that happened that was positive. When we end this subject today, signs of healing through journaling is working. Healing often looks quiet, not dramatic. You may notice less emotional pressure, talk about emotional control, more clarity without forcing answers and accepting the outcome, better emotional boundaries. I like that word. Putting up defense to not repeat issues. Reduce need to explain your pain. And I don't want to take up a lot of time on this word, but reducing the need to explain your pain. I was talking to someone the other day, and it came to mind after the conversation ended that a lot of times, and we may not be aware of it, we are sympathy seekers, and we don't even need to be. We don't need to seek sympathy from a human. We need to ask God to resolve it, believe it, have faith, and let it go. So again, I say, reduce the need to explain your pain. Remind yourself that you owe no one an explanation. This is strictly between you and God. Increased self-compression. You have released the burden and feel better about yourself and the outcome to include everyone or everything involved. Healing journaling doesn't erase your pain. Again, we make that clear. It just softens the grip. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Please like, share, subscribe, and of course I think I left out the word follow. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. Once you subscribe or you click follow, I'm not going to bother you and ask you for money or support. Just want to help you have some fun scrapbooking and journaling. And of course, all my books and journals are available at Amazon.com. And hopefully and prayerfully, I'll see you next time.